Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for hazardous materials.
And welcome back to Hazardous Materials. My name is Casey Johnson. With me, as always, is Gideon Gonzalez.
Casey, how the hell you doing?
I'm doing well. I heard you got something for me.
Oh my God. So Batman this week.
Tell me about Batman this week.
So we're in the middle of City of Bane, where Bane has taken over Gotham City. He has kicked the Bat family out. In true, almost Adam West Batman tradition, he has put all these supervillains in charge of the police station.
The fuck?
Yes. And what
this is what I get for not reading Batman.
Oh my God.
Ever.
It's so wild and nuts. And also Thomas Wayne Batman's back. And
how did that happen?
Bane. They haven't explained it yet.
Oh, you're talking like the red Bat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who briefly came back in The Button, which was like 50 issues prior in this run. But that ended with the Flashpoint universe also dying with Thomas Wayne telling Bruce to stop being Batman. But now he's back and we don't really know why or how yet.
Oh, God damn
It's
it.
wild. Tom King's Batman is great. I know it's not a lot of people's favorite Batman run. I know I myself was kind of miffed by the whole wedding non-starter.
That's right. King did do the whole wedding fiasco.
Yeah, where, Batman Catwoman getting married. We're going to do 50 million covers. It's going to be a whole big thing. And we've been building it up to since issue 1. And then they did.
Then it's back to status quo.
But Catwoman and Batman are back together right now.
After how long would they keeping her away from the book? Like a year? 2 years?
Yeah, probably because we're at issue 77.
Is she still got her
50?
She still got her own solo book?
Yeah, her solo book's still going.
Because that started right as soon as
Same week as the wedding.
Because, fuck you, Bruce. I got my own book. That's exactly what was going on there. I got my own book. I don't need your shit.
It was all according to Bane's plan.
I want to know what is going on, because at the end of that book, we saw, Booster Gold's little flyboy android, Skeets. What is up with that?
So, as part of Bane's insanely convoluted plan to break Batman mentally, he had the Riddler hack into Skeets and have Skeets give Booster Gold the idea to create a timeline where Bruce's parents didn't die. This is a really weird 3-issue arc
and this is all Bane's doing.
Yes. Everything that has happened in the entirety of King's now 77-issue Batman run was all according to Bane's plan.
That just sounds like a lot of Bane fanboys. I just don't see him putting this thing together or even knowing about Thomas Wayne or Skeets for that matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm a huge Bane fan. I'm a huge Bane boy.
Where'd he get this?
Yeah, it's one of those things where how do you connect these dots? I mean,
someone's got to have clued him in.
Yeah.
Like Luthor style.
Or maybe Dr. Manhattan style.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot that Dr. Manhattan is still a thing. A unfinished limited series thing. So he's just, I guess, going to loom over everything.
Maybe in 20 episodes, we'll have another Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, exactly.
But, sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just going to ask what Doomsday Clock is on right now. Is it issue 6?
We're on number 10 out of 12.
Okay, so we're almost there.
Yeah, 11 scheduled for September, and I would bet money that they are going to have number 12 come out on New Year's, because you always have 3 books come out on New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm betting big money. I'm not big money,
but not huge money.
There is a wager pool going for when they'll come out or if it will finish on time.
Okay, so what else we got aside from poor Batman? You got more to say about this? This insane plot.
So after getting all the catch up on Batman there, so Bane is managing to maintain his hold on Gotham by having supervillains enacting Sinestro style order, where you've got a guy's jaywalking. Here's Victor's ass.
I saw a picture of Joker in a cop car. Was that the real Joker?
Yeah. Commissioner Joker and Chief Riddler, just like on Batman 66. It's great.
Is he I don't know, pulling a Starro where he's controlling them all? Or?
No. Actually, there is the Psycho Pirate's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's explicitly stated that he is affecting all the villains to work for him, But like,
I could have swore I read something that was what was going on. That's how he was
That
keeping
makes
them all
sense,
complacent. Because why the fuck would Joker even dick with this stuff? I got better shit to worry about. I mean, I got like this intrinsic trap involving chemicals, and now I'm the chief of police in a cop car. Fuck you, Bane.
oh, and Thomas Wayne is the Batman of Gotham right now. But more importantly, his waiter is his butler is the ventriloquist.
Oh God!
So he's got a little tray on the puppet. It's great. But I'm getting off topic again. So the big thing that happened in Batman that everyone's freaking out about is Bane has had Alfred hostage and is like, if any of the Bat family comes in, I'm going to kill Alfred. So Damian Wayne, impetuous, beloved little shit that he is,
I love Damian Wayne so much,
goes in to try and take on Bane, gets his ass whooped, and Bane just like big old ham hands on Alfred, snaps his neck. And then he's like, well, I'm down a hostage, but now I have you as my hostage. So we'll see who comes to get you next. And then I'll kill you. And then I'll kill them.
How many dead Alfreds are we at right now?
This is like the third Alfred death, I think.
Like in recent years.
Oh, in recent years?
God, I want to say that
a couple times.
That Bruce has got a closet filled of Pennyworths, just like a Pennyworth dispenser.
Scott Snyder did have that weird plot point where there is a clone Batman machine for when Bruce Wayne dies. So maybe there's a clone Alfred machine too.
Oh God, that actually reminds me of a long time ago when a friend of mine tried to convince me that there was two Batmen to explain away the idea that the Batman with the Justice League wasn't as cool as the real Batman was. So.
It's completely wrong because the Batman's with the Justice League fights white Martians, automatically cooler.
So, okay, this sloppy segue goes into Jimmy Olsen because you know how dark and brooding he is.
Oh, yes.
We actually, okay, explain why we had to read Jimmy Olsen of all comics.
Well, I had to read it because
I wouldn't.
I love Jimmy Olsen. He's genuinely like, I made a list of like my favorite DC superheroes recently. Jimmy Olsen clocked in at 4.
No shit.
I would consider him a superhero. He had a title that ran for over 100 issues, and he has had many superpowers.
Besides the Turtle Boy.
Besides Turtle Boy, who is in the current series.
Yes.
But anyways, the big draw for it is Matt Fraction of Hawkeye, Sex Criminals, Casanova is writing it.
Why the fuck is Matt Fraction writing Jimmy Olsen?
Probably because Brian Michael Bendis offered it to him, or was just like, hey, Matt, I'm at DC. What do you want to write? And he was like, I'll do Jimmy Olsen.
That blows my mind.
As proven by Jack Kirby, there's no better way to test your skills than working on Jimmy Olsen.
I've never heard that before, but now I'm like semi-intrigued about so what kind of crazy zeitgeist that Jimmy Olsen must be tapped into to have this kind of creative talent attached to him.
And not only Matt Fraction writing, but we have Steve Lieber, the artist for Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Oh my
God. The best comedy comic of the past decade.
At least.
Oh my God, yeah. And he brings
love that book.
That same amazing sense of like physical comedy and expressions to Jimmy Olsen.
I think as a challenge, we're going to find some way to insert that guy and the Superior Foes of Spider-Man into every episode that we do.
Read Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It's easily available in a nice $50 hardcover.
Yeah, hardcover. Yeah, if you appreciate it, you're going to go for a hardcover. I loved it. I especially loved it when Shocker was stuck in their trunk as they were getting ready to bury him alive. Dudes.
Just shoved off the bridge.
That was so dark. I love Speed Demon in that just because of the riffs that he was going on with Boomerang on that one.
Yeah, the bit where he is like, oh, we forgot the keys. It's like, go back and get them. It's like, it takes me the same amount of time.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay, so Jesus. We both read Superman Year 1, number 2, and I would have not read this had you not told me the premise of this book. So what we've done is we've trusted Frank Miller to rewrite the origin of the Man of Steel.
Because that's what we needed was another Superman origin story.
That's what we need. And we're going to have John Romita Jr. draw it, which when I heard about that, I thought, ooh, that's going to be really hairy.
The squarest Superman you can imagine.
Yeah, we're going to have some square fingertips, and he's going to have some body hair I never knew existed. It's going to be a tragedy. And damn, tell everyone what you told me to get me to read this book.
Superman loses his virginity to a mermaid.
For half the book.
Yeah. Like, so we're in part 2 of a 3-issue Prestige miniseries, and like the entire second act of this fancy Black Label Superman book is about Superman's I don't say forgettable, but like often forgotten Silver Age girlfriend, Lori Lamaris, who was a mermaid he knew as a teenager.
A flat out mermaid, which I've noticed that they modified her so she had kind of like 2 legs.
Yeah, they made her very like Atlantean.
So I guess so he could.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a whole 2 pages where it's like, and they frolicked. The seafloor shook.
Off screen.
It was
so
what a wild choice.
This whole book was about Superman trying to do his duty as an American. And he joined the Navy and he tried not to excel, but excelled at everything he did, including sharpshooting. And that's when the Navy's like, hey, this Kent guy does everything great. He never sweats. What's up with him? And now look, he hits the target 100 out of 100 times. I know what we're going to do with him. SEAL program.
Which, very strange choice. Like, this book is, like, it's not bad.
I actually enjoyed
the
SEAL program.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole SEAL program because you saw in his head, it's like, God, you know, I should probably let this guy win. You know, like he's doing the whole stick thing with the guy. He's like, you know, no, I should let this guy win. Nah, I really want this too bad. I want everything. Just when you think he's going to give up and let somebody else win or kind of show some kind of weakness, he doesn't. He excels on everything and he's all about it until the moment of truth.
Yeah. That was the big scene that I was just like, oh, we're doing this. Superman goes on a mission with
SEAL
guns.
teams killing obscure terrorists. Did you notice that almost every single one of the faces of the terrorists was completely shadowed out?
Yeah, I think after Holy Terror, they didn't want to go down that road for old Frank the Tank again.
Well,
I was kind of uncomfortable during that scene, honestly. I was just like, ooh, this is
hairy.
Yeah. It's a very Holy Terror decision. It's a very 300 decision.
Yeah, I know you're trying to obscure the ethnicity of these bad guys.
Yeah.
But they're wearing some very distinctive head wraps.
Yeah. It's
of a particular area of the world.
Yeah, and in a Superman story, that's it's certainly something.
So what do we got? We got Superman and his SEAL team coming up into the bridge. He hasn't done anything. All his other teammates have basically been taking out these dudes as they're going along. Headshot. He describes it. You know, he's so still into the science and the methodical training that they went through to do this. It's like, okay, now this is for the kill, and they do it so simply. There's a smoothness of the action, and he's just going really into it. It's like, okay, where are we going with this, Kent? And they get to the bridge, and there's like 6 guys there. They waste 5. Now it's Kent's time. He's got to blow somebody away. And we're talking like shooting him in the head, making him dead. He hesitates. He jams the barrel into the guy's face. And everybody's like, dude, Kent, what the fuck are you doing to shoot the guy? Well, he's got a grenade. Well, let's get the fuck out of here. No, I'm gonna jump on it. What the hell are you doing, Kent? And I don't know if he takes it apart. I don't know if he shoves it in his pants or if he eats it.
I would like that. I prefer to think that he eats it.
I think that he ate it because when it went off, it didn't hurt anybody. It just kind of smoked. I'm thinking he ate it. And the way they talked about it, it sounded like he devoured the fucking grenade.
Like, on the one hand, I'm like, no, that's too silly for a Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. joint. But then, like the next scene, he quits the Navy to go boink a mermaid.
They didn't even quit the Navy. He got kicked out. He washed out.
I just remember the scene where his commanding officer just like, Godspeed, Kent, as he like walks into the ocean.
I suddenly understand that you're probably some strange godly being because I've watched you walk in the ocean and not come back for hours.
It was weird.
Yeah, I'm just going to accept it. Go, Kent.
And then like his big, not his big debut, but his first like doing Superman stuff is wrestling a Kraken in Atlantis.
Where did that come from? Was that actually the first time he put the costume on for this story?
I think he might have done a little bit like in Smallville, but this is like the big moment. It's been a hot minute since I read number 1.
I saw a small detail. When he put the outfit first on, he had the black and red
Mm-hmm.
logo on his chest. And then when he was fighting, I guess the Kraken or some bile burning kind of creature, the black part came away and that was red and yellow. Did you notice that?
Cool. No, I didn't pick that up.
And as a matter of fact, not only did it do that, but as he was facing off against Poseidon on the back of his cape, where it was also black and red,
Mhm.
black was falling off of that as well, revealing just a simple red outline.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
I didn't pick that up.
that was really subtle to me. I was like, okay, so I guess that's what you're trying to do, and it got burned away, or you're just not good with your outfit choices, or bad ink. I don't know.
Like, there's definitely, like, I really hope that's, yeah, I mean, it's got to be intentional. But,
Yeah.
like, there was one art mistake that kind of bugged me.
What's
when he's
that?
on the bus and he's like, the windows are closed and the air is, like, stiff. And then, like, the next page, Clark Kent's, like, sticking his head out an open window. I was like, no one caught that?
No one gave the art notes to JR. JR, dude, windows up. You know, Miller, the professional is here.
Man,
He says windows up. It means windows up.
now,
Don't make us come down here again, JR.
since we've been reading out, like, lines from it, I almost want, it's so wordy, I kind of want to hear it as a radio drama. Or just any Frank Miller book as a radio drama.
This would work the best as a radio drama because you see inside everybody's head. It's not just Superman, but you also see inside his commanding officer. You see inside Lori Lamaris. You see inside Poseidon. And they only have like green colors. Whenever you see red, it's obviously Poseidon, who has some real issues with Soup showing up because he thinks, okay, he's come to check out my woman. My woman, my daughter, my woman, yes, my daughter will become my bride. This got weird really quick.
Oh, Frank.
So
I would say never change, but I absolutely would not mean it.
I don't know what he was really going with. I guess he was trying to show some kind of culture change or maybe a shock of some sort.
He's a Greek god.
He really did not want us to like Poseidon at all.
No.
And with that bit of little, this is Chinatown, Jake, don't worry about it, kind of spills like, no, okay, Poseidon, you suck ass.
Yeah. Just the worst undersea god.
Now we went down our list of stuff that we were going to be reading, and there's a couple of things that kind of caught my eye while I was looking at the list. It apparently, and this is another sloppy segue. I need to work on these. Life is Strange. Are you familiar with the video game Life is Strange?
Not at all. I'm not a big gamer, unfortunately.
Okay, I am, so I'll help you out here. Life is Strange is a story. Basically, it's a point and click story of a girl who goes to a new school and she runs into an old friend of hers, and this old friend gets attacked by this other bully kid who ends up accidentally killing her.
Oh,
In the bathroom, while Max, the main character, is in the stall.
that took a turn.
And this is when and you think that's where it took a turn, right? No, this is where it took a turn. Max suddenly discovers that she has time travel powers. So she tries to go back in time to stop the line of events that would have caused her friend to be killed in this bathroom.
Life is strange. Huh?
Life is strange. And you never really find out how this happens, but it seems like it almost comes with Max's little magical, I don't want to call it magical, but she has a Polaroid camera that she uses with her at all times. And it kind of feels like it might be maybe related to that whole thing, but the time travel kind of showcases itself as like this butterfly that kind of dances around in light. Anyway, if you've read it or if you've played it, you'll know that the story comes down to two very important choices. You have two monumental choices of one or the other that I'm not going to showcase. I'm not going to tell because I don't want to spoil it. But a comic sequel has been written about this game, and it's a sequel to just one of those stories. And it feels weird to me because it's the one I didn't choose when I played.
Interesting.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like, should I go back and get the other answer so I can connect these two? But anyway, so that's what's going on right now. And not only do they have this sequel, they've obviously committed to it because 8 issues are already out.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's something to look into. It's not done by Dark Horse. It's not done by DC or Marvel. It's done by some third party. I don't have the information on that one, but check it out. The art looks really nice. It reminds me a lot of the video game. And yeah, speaking of which, the sequel to Life is Strange 2, inventive title, is out and is being released in an episodic fashion. I think they're on episode 3 out of 5 right now.
Nice.
Now, moving on.
John.
Exactly. It appears that somebody has decided that the 1984 Transformers comic needs a prequel.
Which is interesting. So for a variety of reasons. So I'm a recent Transformers fan.
Okay.
I got into it because a friend of mine loaned me the IDW series Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, which became like one of my favorite comics from the past 10 years. It is this incredible, like 80 issue, just beautiful, beautiful story. It's like Star Trek: The Next Generation meets Muppet Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
It's the best way I can describe the tone of the book. It's these it's a bunch of Rodimus Prime and Ultra Magnus leading a bunch of like C to Z listers characters on a space voyage and all of the weird space things they run into along the way. It's very much like a comedy Star Trek. But with weird creatures because they're robots.
What really kind of made me scratch my head on this one is the fact that it is a prequel of the 84 series. The 84 series was done by Marvel.
Yes.
This is done by
IDW, who own the publishing rights to the old Marvel comics, except for the ones that have like Spider-Man in them.
Which was number 3.
Yes. Which I actually just picked up recently.
Oh, and I know that this is not the first time IDW has pulled a stunt like this. They originally got Larry Hama to extend the life of the G.I. Joe comic.
Still going on that one.
He really is.
They're like at 250 or something crazy.
I love Larry Hama.
He was an amazing.
I really love him. I read G.I. Joe back in the day. My favorite, of course, was the silent issue.
Oh my god, yeah. Iconic. Silent
issue. I love Storm Shadow. I love Snake Eyes, of course, because they're the coolest.
They're the ninjas.
They are the coolest. I mean, back in the 80s, that's what it was.
Like, Snake Eyes is probably the cheapest one to make. God damn, was he cool.
Yeah, let's make this figure, and I'm going to give him any pigmentation. It's a throwaway figure, no big deal. Wait a minute, he's the top-selling one? Okay.
That worked out.
Let's remake him. Give him a sword and a dog. There you go.
Put some armor on there. Give him a whole ninja team.
Yeah, now we got something. Speaking of which, we do have a Snake Eyes movie coming out.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that's happening.
Yeah.
And I know that they just cast it recently.
And they did not use Ray Park.
I was very surprised by that.
I was too. I mean, you got a mask on him. Unless, of course, they intend to unmask him during this movie. Which, I mean, if you're going to make a movie about Snake Eyes, you're going to unmask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, Ray Park would commit to it.
I think he would.
Carl Urban and dread that.
Yeah. So, have we heard if Storm Shadow's going to be in it? Because I love...
they'd have to, right?
I love me some Storm Shadow.
I mean, like, who else is going to be in it? You going to use Destro? I mean, I'd like to see that. I like Destro. Got a shiny head.
I don't think Destro's going to show up. He bailed out of the second G.I. Joe movie. Wisely, I might add. All you really saw of him was his eyes darting back and forth in anger.
Yeah, poor Chris Eccleston. He had a rough couple of years there. Then he was on The Leftovers, so, got that critical acclaim again.
Yes.
My favorite Doctor.
Oh, who's your favorite Doctor?
Christopher Eccleston. Number 9.
Really?
Yeah.
In his little short time.
That was my first exposure to Doctor Who. And I was like, this guy's really cool. I totally buy him as a like powerful ancient cosmic entity. And I was very disappointed when he left, but I love David Tennant too. So
I love David Tennant. He's my favorite. Yeah. I'm not much of it. I know enough about Doctor Who to bluff my way through a conversation. Yes. I could tell you, okay, these are aliens, these are doctors, and they like TARDISes and time travel, and they go through human people like crazy. We're talking disposable people. But we're not going to talk about Doctor Who. We're going to talk about something else, and that is Marvel's return of Death's Head.
A Transformers character.
Yes, a British Transformers
related
character.
To Doctor Who. The reason, so he was going to be in Transformers as a villain, as this giant robot, freelance peacekeeping unit is the term.
Or mercenary, or bounty hunter, or... Didn't he have a bird at one time?
Yes.
Does he still have the bird?
He does not so far.
Ah, sadness. No bird. No bird, no love.
Then Marvel realized, oh man, if we have him debut in the Transformers book, the rights will go to Hasbro. Hasbro owned the character. So they So they snuck him in as a backup strip to the Doctor Who book, which didn't have as watertight of a deal as the Transformers one.
So who's got the rights on Circuit Breaker?
I think Hasbro has.
Now, for those who don't know, way back in the 80s when Marvel was doing the Transformers comic, they introduced a villain, a woman covered in circuitry called Circuit Breaker. This is completely Marvel's creation, but we don't know where it's in the hands of because, I mean, Marvel did do the ROM comic.
Yeah.
They made the Dire Wraiths.
Yep. They're
And
an important part of X-Men comics.
Yep. And now the Dire Wraiths are in the hands of IDW.
Yeah. IDW, because Hasbro's got the licensing deal with them.
So
Their whole, which we got a roundabout way. Sorry, I got to go back to it because we were talking about the Transformers earlier.
Mhm.
That they had like a whole big Hasbro verse, and then they ended it,
Yes.
which was the Transformers books I was reading, and they did Transformers reboot, and now they're running alongside that Transformers reboot, a reboot of the Marvel Transformers.
So they got rid of a lot of the titles during that. They got rid of Mask.
They got rid of Mask. They got rid of ROM. They got rid of I think there's a Captain Action book even.
Was there a Captain Action book?
There was, yeah.
I think you're right. I don't think I would read Captain Action.
No.
I'd read ROM.
I wouldn't read Mask, frankly, but
I'd read ROM if it felt like old school ROM.
I know Christos Gage was working on, and I generally trust him. He actually worked on a book later on in our list. So
Yeah, artistically, the ROM book looked great. New ROM, great. Without all the connections.
did you ever there was a letter that a fan sent to Steve Ditko talking about how ROM was his favorite, and Steve Ditko just wrote back like, I didn't really care about ROM. I kind of just phoned it in. Thank you for your letter, Steve Ditko.
I think God. I think that's actually Steve Ditko's rubber stamp answer to anything that people send him. It's like, I love Spider-Man. What'd you do with issue 39? Oh, 39? Oh, yeah. I use that when I'm outside, like sawing wood to keep the wood. I use the cards to keep it stable when I'm cutting through it with a saw.
R.I.P. Steve Ditko, you crazy.
You crazy man who didn't care at all about what he did.
Like,
it's like he had no joy about comics at all.
I love Steve Ditko, but at the same time, man, not a big Ayn Rand fan myself, and he's definitely the living personification.
I'm not exactly a Atlas Shrugged fan myself either.
Back to Death's Head. It's by Tini Howard and Kei Zama, who is fresh off the Optimus Prime book that AW is doing. And so she knows how to draw a good robot. And there's some good robots in Death's Head.
IDW's got some really good artists on their stuff as far as Transformers go. I did read a few of the books in the past 10 years, but I never really kept up with it.
Yeah, Death's Head also brings back, which I feel like I'm honestly surprised it's a Death's Head book and not a them book, but Wiccan and Hulkling. Like, this is their first big book they've been in since, New Avengers a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they doing on this book?
They're moved in together. They are sharing an apartment. Billy has been looking into like all the different timelines of himself because he's kind of worried about him and Teddy's relationship. And he's saying like, okay, what are the constants where we stay together? One of them being that they're in the Young Avengers again with a new character, Death's Head 5.
Maybe this is where Moira 6 comes into play.
Maybe she's there but Death's Head 5 looks like a teen punk version of Death's Head. Like he's got like these little wire fringe hair. It's great. And Death's Head spends most of the issue trying to murder him.
Of course. Yeah. Because you got to kill him before he becomes, what was it? Kid Miracle Man.
Oh, God.
We don't need another Kid Miracle Man. Okay.
Ooh, Kid Miracle Man.
With that way back throwback, we're going to take a break here for this message. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Ghost Spider, take another look at Superior Spider-Man, and wrap it up with some Powers of X stuff I want to talk about.
A lot of spiders and a lot of mutants.
Indeed.
All right. Be right back.
Hey, this is Brooke with HHS Studios. Welcome to episode 2 of Hazardous Materials, last week's comics this week. If you don't already and want to read up on the comics that Casey and Gideon are talking about, we recommend heading out to your local comic store. Here in San Antonio, I go to the Dragon's Lair. They have 2 locations here in town, my store at Alamo Ranch and one in the Medical Center, but also have a store in both Houston and Austin. They can set up subscriptions with all of your favorite titles, variants, and even special order graphic novels if you want to catch up on previous stories. Rose and her crew have access to a plethora of games, and yes, I did say plethora. They also have manga, miniatures, and statues all at their beck and call. So if you happen to be local, go check them out. And as always, if you want to help us grow the HHF community, help us out by becoming a patron by going to patreon.com and searching Haphazard Fiction. Thanks again for listening, and back to the guys and their hazardous materials.
And we're back.
Alrighty. So during our break, I looked it up. The guy playing Snake Eyes is Henry Golding of Crazy Rich Asian fame.
He is very pretty.
He is devastatingly handsome.
He devastates me.
So you're probably not going to get Snake Eyes in that mask very long.
No, you're not. If you're paying for that kind of beauty, you're going to be taking the mask off very frequently.
Or maybe they'll just at the end of the movie, he'll put the mask on.
Yeah. Oh, you think he's going to go maskless for the entire movie?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, God. That's not really Snake Eyes, though.
Yeah. But I mean, it's an origin movie.
Yeah. I want my Storm Shadow in there because he was cool. I really liked him.
So since that is, in fact, a Marvel Comics book, we can dive in now to our Marvel Comics, which actually we already did with this.
Yes, we did. We're already kind of
circling back.
We are now. We got to talk about Ghost Spider, which is the retitled Spider-Gwen title. They took 10 issues to let everybody know, hey, everyone, we're turning Spider-Gwen into Ghost Spider.
The last book was Spider-Gwen : Ghost Spider, right?
Right, which she doesn't use the name until the last page of the last issue. Finally saying it because she here's the thing. Spider-Gwen is part of the the Earth 65 continuity, which has a lot of weird mixed up things like the fact that Matt Murdock is Kingpin and stuff like that.
With the name Matt Murdock, which is amazing.
Yeah. So how did no one ever think of that? A lot of the other weird thing is that she's got a symbiote, which showcases itself as like a large group of spiders.
Okay, so her new costume is a symbiote?
Yes.
Oh.
And not only is it a symbiote, but it's apparently that world's Venom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
It
is weird.
That is weird.
So she gets outed in Earth 65. Everybody finds out that she's Gwen Stacy.
Well, when your name's Spider-Gwen.
Well,
I know that's not her in-universe
Yeah,
name,
but I see what you're doing there. So everyone finds out. Her dad is the chief of police. It's very problematic when you're a Spider-Woman, a.k.a. Hey Me, and here's my dad, the chief of police. So she decides to make the jump and seek her collegiate career on the main Earth, 616. And
it's only a matter of time, I guess.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And while she's here, she's like, oh, wow, I don't want to be a hero on Earth 616. I want to patrol back on my planet or my dimension at nights. It's really strange.
Hell of a commute.
Yeah. And oh God, there's so much to unpack about how this world reacts to this kind of thing. Let me see if I can explain this properly. So she can't be Spider-Woman in this world because she knows Jessica Drew, and Jessica Drew would kick her ass.
Yes.
You're not taking my title. So she calls herself Ghost Spider, I guess based loosely on the idea that all the Gwen Stacys pretty much are dead in their home dimensions, and she's not. That's kind of a whatever it takes you, writer.
The white cowl, this little spooky.
Yeah, and they actually ask her, like, how do you keep that thing white? And then she showcases that, because my outfit's made of spiders. And so they keep it clean and white the whole entire time.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So she decides that she's going to go to school at Empire State, which is where Peter went.
Yeah. Yes,
and Peter is actually still working.
I was very upset when I was looking for universities and found out that ESU does not exist.
Yes, it does not exist. With a strange E shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that in the Spider-Man game? Have you played that?
I think it is. I don't remember if it's in that shape. I remember in the Ultimate Spider-Man game it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know if in PS4 it is. I remember there's a bunch of missions there, but I don't remember being like, hey, it's a big old E.
So I was confused on how this is going to work. You come from Earth 65, but you want to go to school in Earth 616. How do you pass off who you are in Earth 616 unless you're going to pull off some kind of scam? Oh, I got fake IDs and fake social security cards. And is the accreditation going to cover over into my world and all this other stuff? And I think that we're going to have to deal with all this minutia, but boom, straight out the door. She talks to the Dean of Admissions. Dean of Admissions knows that she's a dimensional jumper and has a special thing for it.
I was about to say, in the Marvel universe, they got to have something for that.
Yeah, apparently they've got a program that's funded by Tony Stark specifically for transplants, aliens, dimensional people, and they basically have a free ride.
Absolutely not allowed. Teen Tonys.
No
Teen
Teen Tonys.
Tonys.
No Teen Tonys. God damn, you just had to bring up Teen Tony. I almost ruined my night there.
I will bring up Teen Tony any opportunity I get because I love that dumpster fire of a story.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so bad. It's amazing.
That led to the killing of Yellow Jacket, the female Yellow Jacket from the
Yes.
90s. I will never forgive him for that.
Yeah, pretty awful. And it's
Son
the
of a
worst. Is it the worst Avengers story? Because
No. You know what?
Yeah, there's Marcus. We're not topping Marcus.
Okay, so you know exactly what I was going to talk
Oh,
about. Now, this is actually something, I'm glad you brought this up because this is something I've been thinking about a lot. At some point, maybe during a week when they're not dropping books,
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit about Avengers number 200.
And
you know exactly
yeah,
the dumpster fire I'm talking about.
yeah, that takes the cake. That's worse than The Crossing.
That's like the worst event. It's the worst book ever.
But-
and it's not because of its quality of writing, but it's just about the absolute tone deafness of the writers. And it's so bad that the people that have been said, "Hey, you wrote this, right?" It's like, no, I didn't write that.
Yeah, if I was old Jimmy Shoots, I wouldn't want to take credit for that.
Yeah,
one either.
because apparently it's got 4 writers, and
Oh.
none of those 4 writers will admit that it was their idea. I know I'm being really vague about this because I really want to do a show about this
Oh,
because
yeah.
this is something close to my heart because it's such a clusterfuck.
But then we get to talk about Chris Claremont slam dunking on the entire Marvel bullpen in Avengers Annual 10.
Oh God, I love
which
that.
is so good.
Which is the first appearance of Rogue.
Yes.
That was that was perfection.
Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that we've never gotten a Claremont Avengers book because of it, because that book rules.
It really did.
He is like 100% hit rate on Avengers.
And-
X-Men, like,
and he brought Spider-Woman into the whole Avengers
Yeah.
thing, and that was like the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah, because apparently, some reason, Spider-Woman's never been an Avenger up until the new Avengers showed up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to Ghost Spider. She now has God, I'm totally spacing on what's that thing that you get when you go to college for free. You have a scholarship. It was the Tony Stark Dimensional Jumper Scholarship and all that jazz. It felt like the whole book was just exposition on her new situation. She was trying to pack a lot of stuff in.
I'd say, like, in fairness, it sounds very, very complicated.
It was. I mean, they're talking about, okay, she left the band. She's going to be
Mhm.
in this new plane and this new dimension. She's got this college as aware. She's the Gwen Stacy's other thing. Oh, she's also got to rename herself. At the same time, she has to distance herself from Spider-Man so he's not in the book all the time. So while they have 2/3 of the book of him and her being super chummy, super happy
Mhm.
and friendly, at the very end, she goes, we can't really be BFFs because, you're like old and stuff.
It's weird.
And you're not my Peter. So we can't be friends.
You're not
Which basically
my
is
Gwen.
like,
Flip, flip.
it's like she uninvited him from her book.
Damn.
Okay, you've done your part. Get the fuck out. And I was like, that's a really clumsy way to get rid of a supporting character. And granted, you don't want Spider-Man in there because
Yeah.
then you're going to be playing second fiddle to him no matter
Yeah.
what.
It is Spider-Man, the most popular superhero on the planet. Arguably.
But, tell him,
Arguably.
and hey, we can't be friends. Go the fuck away. Bitch, I just got you into college. What the fuck?
Maybe Miles will show up in the book.
Yeah. And then, I don't know.
Miles is right for some
I'm a fan
crossover.
of this book. I'm gonna write it out because at least they've got a better artist.
It's Takeshi Miyazawa who used to do the what he used to do. I know he co-created Amadeus Cho,
right.
And he was the backup
Wasn't he
artist on
involved
Miss
in
Marvel.
Wasn't he involved
Mhm.
also in Agents of Atlas at some point?
I think so. I want to say he was.
I want to say he was too.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Great artist.
so I'm just glad it's not the Spider-Gwen artist
Mhm.
because that was sickly.
Like the original one.
yeah.
I like Robbie Rodriguez and stuff.
Mm.
Like it's kind of a weird thing. I mean, like, I'm just like Tradmore again, where we just like don't see eye to eye on it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on there. So we're going to move into another Spider, and this would be the Spider-Man of San Francisco.
A superior Spider.
A superior Spider-Man, Otto Octavius. This book is kind of an aftermath of the whole War of Realms book. In this, we're dealing with what did you call it? Event crash.
Yes.
Because now Otto Octavius is talking to Peter, and Peter's like, "Hey, listen, you're going through something right now. You don't want to admit it because you want to be out of Octavius and, nothing ever hurts your feelings or nothing bullshit. But you're going through something I know about, and it's called event crash. You went through like this gigantic battle, and now you're like, don't know how to sort it out emotionally.
I do have some bad news.
Well,
you are one issue behind on Severe Spider-Man.
No, I am not, because I am talking about 9 and 10.
Oh. Huh.
See, 9 is the end of the War of Realms. And 10 goes in how he's dealing with that.
That's very good. You got me there. Now I'm the asshole.
So 10 is really all about Otto Octavius dealing with the fact that he's not the center of attention all the time. And sometimes you've got to nut up and help other people, because this job is not about, hey, look how cool I am. This job is all about who I'm helping.
Oh, man. The stuff with the kid is so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That one page, the fake Spider-Man page.
The fake Spider-Man page?
There's a scene where the kid calls him fake Spider-Man after the big... So the big thing that happens in this issue is someone leaks that he's Doc Ock to the media. And there's this kid he's been helping out like throughout the series. Like since the first issue, he saves the kid. And he's been checking up on the kid, and the kid's being adopted right now. But the kid calls him fake Spider-Man and asks him why he lied to everyone. And Otto says, because I wanted you to like me. And oh man, that hit me that got me good. And like kids like tearing up, and Otto like hugs him and then zooms out. It's a very touching scene.
How did I miss that?
It was real good.
Oh, now you're gaslighting me. I was like, did I read the right book? Because I don't remember this kid scene at all. Okay, so I've come to the conclusion I actually was reading number 9, and
it's okay,
not number 10, and I am a fucking scrubs because I got an entire comic I have not read yet, and I feel stupid because I thought I read them both.
All right,
this is what happens when you like fall asleep right in the middle of reading a comic and you pick it back up again.
I was gonna say, do you mind a spoiler? But it's not a spoiler; it's on the cover.
Well, I skimmed through it during the little break that we took because I was trying to cover my tracks. I just didn't do a very good job of it. So tell me all about this.
So the person who leaked Otto Octavius' identity to the media is Spiders Man.
That son of a bitch.
The evil. Evil. Well, yeah, he's a pretty bad guy.
Well, yeah, he's a man made of spiders.
He is. Yeah,
he thinks he's Peter Parker.
A mass of spiders that thinks he's Peter Parker that walks around in a like chewed on Spider-Man suit.
It's so
who ugly. Is the right hand man of Norman Osborn Spider-Man with 6 arms.
Yeah, what does he call himself? Just Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think he's just Spider-Man.
There's a lot of Spider-Man.
But yeah, so he is back for revenge after Otto was like, I'm in charge.
During Spider-Geddon.
Yeah, Spider-Geddon. So he and Spiders Man, his only remaining bad Spider-Man, are back to wreak havoc on Otto's life because Norman Osborn is a petty bastard.
I love the fact that there's a Spiders Man.
It's so good. It's the best thing to come.
It's like creepy. It's a creepy hobo with spiders all in him. It's like, what's wrong with that guy? He stinks. His outfit's got holes in it. What the fuck is coming out of his face?
Like, did you ever read the 1000 from Spider-Man's Tangled Web?
Sure did.
Have they confirmed that he is the 1000? Because
that would make
it's the same
sense.
idea. Yeah. Like it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, I guess they just went with that storyline and it just stuck with it because I mean he is an alternate dimension. He's not like the 1000 for real.
Every so like I always forget that's a Garth Ennis comic.
I love Garth.
Me too. Like
I love.
I don't
Garth Ennis.
Like there are some Garth Ennis things that I'm not a fan of, but like when he hits it for me, he hits it.
Yeah. I don't think I was a big fan of, what was it, Pilgrim?
Just a Pilgrim, yeah.
Just a Pilgrim. I didn't read that crap.
Didn't read it either. A buddy of mine is much bigger Ennis fan than I am, is currently reading through. He's like, yeah, it's fine. He described it as kind of like basically just Punisher mashed up with the Gunslinger. And I'm like, yeah. I'd rather just read Punisher. I'd rather just read the Gunslinger.
I'd rather just read Preacher.
Also a best option.
Oh, Preacher is by far the best comic ever made. I think I've said that before.
You have. It's probably going to show up every episode.
I'm going to show up every episode. It's going to be one of those things.
So
I'm going to take a brief moment and talk about Marvel Presents, but not the entirety of the issue
Just
because
one Spider-Person.
only one thing I cared about, and that was Spider-Woman. And the fact they got an Art Adams cover out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently last minute, too, because if you read the little art stamp on it, he drew that fucker 1 month ago.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, he's been doing the covers for all these, but I did not realize there was that quick of a turnaround.
Yeah, I looked at the
Adams.
stamp and it was like 7/17. It was like, dude, this cover didn't even make like previews. It's beautiful. I'm not really a big fan of Spider-Woman's new outfit, but he made it look
Spider-Woman's new outfit.
Of course,
And he did make it look good.
He really made it look good. He really looked like an outfit instead of like a loose jacket and some bad eyeglasses or shades, one of those retractable mask crap they have on her face. I don't like it. But it does feel like a micro story out of the old Hopeless Spider-Woman.
It definitely, like, it.
Look at that. I actually knew a creator's name.
Hey! We're getting better. Yeah, this one was Ethan Sachs, who's doing Old Man Quill right now, which is also excellent. If anyone's not reading it, you should be. I didn't want to read Old Man Hawkeye because I was like, I'm not a big Old Man Logan fan.
Yeah.
But I am a Hawkeye fan. So I jumped in, and Ethan Sachs completely won me over with that. So I picked up that. I'm jumping into Old Man Quill. And now he's doing a little Spider-Woman story.
So this Spider-Woman story is all about Spider-Woman, and she's doing the whole baby thing because she did have a baby.
Yes. I'm glad that baby's sticking around.
Baby's sticking around, and we still don't know who baby father is. Although a lot of people were screaming Hawkeye.
Yeah. It wound up being just like it was just an anonymous donor.
Yeah.
Which I actually really like that a lot.
She is still dating Porcupine, which I love. I do love that. But this whole thing is about her just casually looking in the web and going, okay, yeah, I got my kid. I'm doing the kid thing. And she's looking at the web and she finds out an article that says Spider-Woman's secret identity revealed. And, you know, what the fuck? And then they show a picture and that's not me. Who the hell is this? So she goes on her usual Ben Urich paired up investigatorial adventure to try to find out who this is and what that's all about. And this it was a weird story. It was a short story. It felt like it was lighthearted and everything was lighthearted until they found the college girl that created this prank using, I guess, deep whatever that stuff's called, to make her look like Spider-Man. But now she's getting death threats and everything like that. And the evil Spider-Woman, Charlotte Winter, I think is her name, shows up. It's like, how dare you steal my name? Blah, 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 blah. And of course, Jessica Drew's like, oh, this is going to be really awkward then, and kicks the crap out of her. But during the course of this fight, the college girl runs out to the street and gets killed by a van.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Charlotte Winter, like, I'm not a character that hasn't shown up in forever.
No, I mean, last time they saw her, Maddie Franklin had taken her powers back from her, leaving the Charlotte unpowered and in her grandmother's basement.
Yeah, I think that's like the only story.
Villains usually show up when they become depowered.
Yeah. Yeah, like most of John Byrne's Spider-Man stuff, it was pretty rightly forgotten very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to take this turn. I guess they just want to end the story really quickly, and it's like, okay, we're going to boink, killed her.
Yeah, it's an anthology story.
And then like the next page, the last page of this story is a bunch of other copycat people pulling the same stunt. And Spider-Woman's like, okay, I gotta go take care of this crap now too. And that's the end of it.
Like any kind of anthology book, it makes me wonder if it's almost like a tryout for a new Ethan Sachs Spider-Woman book, which after reading, I'd be super in for. I feel like the biggest problem with it is just so abrupt. I think if you had like a full series to work on.
It felt like this could have been like an outage from the Hopeless series.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, easily.
And I love that book, and I'd love to see more of it.
Okay, last thing.
Alrighty. Powers of X. It's been coming the whole episode.
Yeah, the big one.
Ooh. We finally get to see what's the deal with those X-Men that showed up at the end of Powers of X #1.
Yes.
They're the Horsemen.
Yes.
Wolverine is War.
Of course.
We've got North is Pestilence, and that is the Green Magneto character, who is a chimera of Lorna Dane, Polaris, and Emma Frost.
Which explains the green outfit.
Yes, because when I first saw the Green Magneto, I was like, oh, is that Polaris? Or Polaris' kid or something? But no, it's a mashup gene combination of Polaris and Emma Frost, which makes me really sad that they kind of get chunked real quick.
They do. Especially the Nightcrawler guy.
Oh, yeah, Cardinal?
Yeah. He's like, okay, I've took this pill and I'm a badass. I'm going to kick ass, even though I'm genetically predispositioned to be pacifist, I'm not gonna stick a sword in you.
Zorn. Okay. Oh man, what was Zorn the Horseman of? Oh no, wait. Wolverine was war. Zorn was death.
Yes.
Oh man, I love that Hickman has brought like Ultimate Zorn over to the main continuity.
Yes.
He's so cool.
I enjoyed the fact that when they were using Zorn as the threat, hey, back off, or I'll take off Zorn's helmet. By the way, there's a
black hole.
Yeah, it's gonna suck us all in. And it's Omega, the Omega Sentinel, or whatever she's called. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that person is playing the Omega Sentinel is. She's like, oh yeah, whatever, no big deal. And then she's like, you know what, fuck it. And that's the end of that. I was like, well, shit, there goes that timeline. What are we gonna do now? And then you see Wolverine run over to Moira McTaggart,
who is like Scion of Apocalypse. Like she's all blue and she got big tubes and armor and the weird apocalypse.
And she's number 9.
Yes.
We find out that she is number 9, and he sticks like some kind of weird like memory crystal in her so that she knows everything that has just gone down.
And everything that led to Nimrod's rise.
We got one more shot to fix this.
Which, that was
a great way to end it, I have to say. It tied
so much together. It made, like, I want to go back and reread the prior 5 issues now. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God. It was so good. And I want action figures of these characters.
I do too.
I want a box set of the 4 Horsemen.
At least.
With Cypher
I want some hero clicks. I want some hero clicks of these damn things.
Oh, you know they're going to do clicks.
Of course.
You got to get that up.
Especially of Nimrod.
Oh, man. Can you imagine a Moira that, like, you can swap out one of 9 different dials?
They could make 9 Moiras.
They could. And being WizKids, they'll just use the same damn mold on every single one.
I was like, okay, she's blue, she's brown with blonde hair.
They'd make the Apocalypse Moira be a chase because that's how WizKids does.
Yeah, the super rare, and she only has like 1 frame, but that's all that matters.
Yeah,
because they're not afraid of doing 1 frame figures like the Star Sapphire Guy Gardner.
Yes,
I don't even know where the hell that's from, but apparently it happened 1 page.
There you go. Great. I think that was War of the Green Lanterns when they all had to dual wield rings, and so Guy had a red and a Star Sapphire ring. He was like, I love, because he loves the core.
He loves the core.
And that's, you just need to love something, really.
Okay, so last time we did this, we kind of did the news at the head, and now we're doing the news at the tail. And the biggest thing that's going on right now, and the biggest thing everybody's talking about, if you got Facebook and you're even slightly inclined towards comics, you've probably heard about Marvel and Sony had a little fight, and Marvel decided to air their dirty laundry 4 hours after the deal.
Yeah.
In an attempt to gain public opinion against it. And damn, did it work.
It did. I feel like no one read any of the articles because people are really going to bat for Disney on this one. And
I've never seen anybody go to bat for a megacorp that quickly.
Oh my God.
Ever.
It's just like, oh, is this the corporate hellscape we're living in now?
I think it's it really comes down to the fact that MCU's been hitting it out of the park straight 10 years without any real failures. Of course, we had some low dips with Iron Man 2 and Dark World, but by and large, they were still quality superhero flicks. Yeah. And then you got Sony. Yeah. Who did Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
But other side of that coin, they also did just do Spider-Verse, which
I can't ignore that.
Arguably the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Verse, that's neck and neck for me. I think
as much as I love Tom Holland, I do think that it's a little unfair to compare an animated film to a live action film into Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah. And here's a hot take. This is scalding hot. There will be comments about it. Far From Home is probably my least favorite Spider-Man movie.
And why?
Goddamn Tony Stark. I do not like Iron Man. I do not like Spider-Man being Iron Man's sidekick. I especially do not like a Spider-Man movie where the entire plot impetus is, oh, what do I do? Iron Man's gone. I'm going to stop being I just want to go on vacation and not do stuff, which Peter Parker, the patron saint of responsibility, wanting to just go on a school trip.
I think that Peter does have more growing up to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what? I'm going to say that the absence of Iron Man is going to be the impetus that creates this new Peter Parker.
Yeah, but Uncle Ben, though. Tony Stark's not his dad.
He's not his dad, but thankfully we didn't have to have another Uncle Ben. And God damn it, I don't want another Uncle Ben.
We don't need, like, to see him getting gunned down in the street, but it's like, they never even mentioned him.
No.
It's like, it hasn't, like,
I swear to God, if they had, and then this happened, and they had to reboot it again, there would be, like, so many, like, hot cuts of various Uncle Bens being murdered throughout the history.
I think, though, my biggest issue with...
Into the Uncle Ben verse.
My big problem with Far From Home is I don't want to say he's a Spider-Man of means, but I don't like a teenage Peter Parker that can just call up a plane to come pick him up. Like, this Peter Parker having such an intensive superhero support network takes a lot of the charm of the character out for me.
He's right. We're not talking about the photographer. We're not talking about the struggling college student in a rent, failing on the rent.
Yeah.
And having a girlfriend that can barely tolerating his various absences.
I remember people were like, oh, Spider-Man's going to design his own suit in this movie. And it's like, cool, let's see it. And it's like, oh, he's 3D printing one from his Stark Jet suit costume machine.
It's a different Spider-Man.
It is. It is. But
Spider-Man
is my favorite character ever. So I'm dug in on my perceptions of Peter Parker.
And I feel you because of all my favorite characters. My top 5 are all B-listers, C-listers, and maybe even a D-lister. But I have one A-lister in my top 5, and it's Spider-Man. And I had to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
I had to come to terms that I am a poser unless I admit the fact that I love Spider-Man.
So the reason I went on but I will say, Mysterio was amazing.
I love Mysterio.
Like he was the thing that made me be like, oh, I hate this movie. He's like, hey, movie pretty good. Movie okay.
Yeah.
It's probably my least favorite Spider-Man movie, but I like all the Spider-Man movies a little bit.
I think
even 3.
I think it also suffered a little bit because it killed the villain. I'm not a fan of that.
I tolerate it because I'm like, it's Mysterio.
Well, it's Mysterio, but he could have done a good maybe Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't mean as in Mysterio's not important. I love Mysterio
because it's really hard to find a list of living Marvel Universe villains.
What I was saying is that it's Mysterio. Like, you don't take anything you see like at face value with him.
Yeah, I suppose.
Dude had. Sorry, I'm just remembering that the movie's main plot point was Tony Stark left a WMD in the hands of a child.
Yes, the Stark glasses.
Hated that. Hated
why,
that.
Why are you turning me on this film? Why are you doing this to me?
You're getting the same.
You're piecing me apart, man. I want to love this film.
It's okay,
and I still love this film. Goddamn union logic.
But okay. But anyways, where I was going with it was, if the deal does completely fall through, my biggest issues with the movie is its ties to the MCU. So my kind of ideal would be we keep John Watts directing. We keep Tom Holland starring, which I think they're both still locked down for 2 more movies through Sony.
Yep.
But I don't know if this big change will affect that at all.
See, they're locked in, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Sony's locked in.
Yeah.
So they could totally just drop the whole ball because Andrew Garfield was locked in for 3 films. They only used him for 2, and they said, go.
Yeah. My ideal is that they do keep doing a couple more Spideys with this group, but they just keep them be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. No Avengers stuff happens, which is what I wanted from Far From Home in the first place. It's like, okay, he did all the space stuff. We're done with the Avengers stuff. Tony's dead.
My last word on this one is this is all a negotiation tactic.
Yeah. And it's also, we shouldn't jump the gun on it.
We really shouldn't jump the gun because I bet you by the time this even hits YouTube or wherever you're listening this, everything will have changed. Now, the terms have changed and everyone's all hunky-dory and there's now 5 new Spider-Man movies on the way.
Yeah.
But this really felt like a seriously heavy-handed Marvel tactic to get what we want.
So with that, just in case that we have to completely cut that segment because the deal gets back together by the time editing
we're going to re-edit that. We're gonna pretend like we knew what was going to happen the entire time.
So,
last-minute edit.
Matrix 4
with Keanu Reeves,
Carrie-Anne Moss,
both of which died.
Yeah.
In Matrix 3.
See, I never saw Matrix 3.
You never saw Matrix 3?
Yeah, I didn't see The Matrix until like 3 years ago, which is wild. I saw it.
You sweet summer child.
I know. I saw it with my best friend showed it to me, and I was like, oh, that was so good. I can't wait to watch the other 2. And then I saw the second one. And I was like, okay, I think we're done with this franchise.
Okay, so the second and third one they had some good stuff to it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the twins.
I do like the fight with the Million Smiths.
Yes.
That was dope.
I enjoyed the big fight with all the burrowers.
Yeah.
I did not like the sex fest.
Yeah.
That could have gone somewhere else.
I mean, that was definitely like in the vein of the aesthetic of the movie. But I see what it was, but I was just like, that felt weird.
Yeah.
It was kind of out of left field.
I liked the fact that we could see all the other ships, all the other captains.
Yeah.
I played Enter the Matrix, and I really enjoyed how that was interacting with the movies, even though Enter the Matrix was still a bad game. So here I am enjoying my bad game while it interacts with this bad film I'm not supposed to enjoy. But for the most part, I did.
Yeah. I mean, we've all suffered through bad licensed games with properties we love.
Yes. And then something like GoldenEye comes around. That was, I guess, it's a little before your time. But when GoldenEye came out, I
got
was
some
like,
GoldenEye in.
You got some GoldenEye?
A little bit, yeah. There's my go-to is always the Hulk 04 game from the based on the movie. Not a good game, but it's got a bunch of Paul Jenkins and Peter David characters in it. So that was my segue into becoming a Hulk fan.
Oh, wow.
But then they did Ultimate Destruction, which was an amazing game 4 years later.
Whatever happened to that Thor game they made like 10 years ago?
The movie one?
Yeah, I went to San Diego Comic-Con back in 2010, and I saw promo stuff for like a PlayStation game for Thor. Never heard from it again.
Yeah, I think it and the Cap games kind of came out and were bad, so they just didn't do anything else with them.
So we're gonna wrap this up. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
There's one thing that we did forget to talk about, and the fact is that Filmation's He-Man has a new champion.
Kevin Smith, of all people.
Kevin Smith is making a sequel to the Filmation series. Not just Masters of the Universe, not just He-Man, but the crazy-ass Filmation stuff involved Cringer.
Yeah, it's all in continuity.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy the She-Ra show they got going on right now, so I was hoping there'd be like a tie-in to that.
Yeah, it would be great if it was just like something he was doing for Masters of the Universe. I don't know why it has to be the Filmation sequel, but I guess it's got a fan out there somewhere.
I'm just hoping that, being that it is Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe, we get Skeletor going, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
I love Skeletor. I love playing with Skeletor toys. And Merman toys. I love Merman. I don't know why. He just looked cool to me. It's like some weird green owl.
I saw a couple episodes of the 2000s He-Man cartoon as a kid. And the one that stuck out to me was the Skeletor origin story, where it's like, oh, he's not a skeleton?
No.
He's a big blue buff guy whose face got melted off?
That was the best.
It was the most metal thing I've ever seen.
It was. I actually saw it on YouTube. It was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like, I rewatched it a couple years ago. It's like, it holds up. It's legit great.
It is. I think probably my favorite thing about Filmation He-Man is that thing they made a gif of the ultimate Skeletor exit, where he goes through the mirror and then sticks his arm and smashes the mirror he just came through. Yeah.
But yeah, that should be interesting. I watch anything Kevin Smith does.
Yep.
And even though I'm not a huge Masters of the Universe fan, I'll check it out.
I'll check it out just to see what he did with it.
I'm fan adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, he did kill Karen Page in Daredevil and
wrote an amazing Green Arrow book.
Yeah.
Wrote a half of a good Spider-Man book, and then it went to shit.
Whatever happened to that?
They finished it eventually. I think there was like 2 years between issues 3 and 4.
Was that Spider-Man Blue?
That was Jeff Loeb.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man Black Cat, Evil That Men Do.
That's right.
Which has some great Kevin Smith banter in the first half, and then I don't really want to talk about it. It takes a identity crisis level turn in the back half.
I didn't rewatch it. Read it. Whatever this comic thing is, whatever medium we're talking about right
Kevin
now.
Smith, if you're listening to this, I love you and I forgive you for Evil That Men Do.
And when we come down and talk to us, please. I'm a total fanboy. Okay, so my producer is like screaming at us that we're running out of time, waving his hands frantically.
That's the evil that we do.
I think this is us signing off.
Yeah, alrighty.
And hopefully we'll have to do an edit for the Sony Marvel thing.
We'll see. It'll give us a few more minutes back in the comments.
At least.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Please support Haphazard Fiction Studios in any way you can.
They do have a Patreon site.
Yeah, or even just giving us a like and a follow. Thank you guys so much.